Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the Thin Crust Flopcast.
Fuck you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, the controversial cat maid herself, and I guess you could say the Baldur's Gate master of the pizza pie. We have Damo.
What's up, motherfuckers?
I think that's pretty much a just a factual statement at this point.
Yeah, with the amount that I've done it.
And still doing it.
Yep, 100%.
So yeah, that's yeah, a pretty fair assessment.
Yeah, it is. Can't deny that.
So, before we actually get into obviously our usual spiel, hi YouTube.
What's up, YouTube? How you doing?
And to hello everyone actually watching on YouTube as well. Hope you guys enjoy these, and I hope you enjoyed the others that you'll see in the playlist. It's certainly been an interesting couple of weeks, I think I'd say.
Yeah, just a bit.
Both, I would say, on a personal note as well as kind of professional.
I guess so, yeah.
Well, considering what's been happening in the world, well, in our world of gaming,
Well, yeah, that is true.
there's been various things happening, obviously with even more closures happening. It's fucking insane.
Right.
So yeah, I believe my mum actually stated this best. Whoever said 2024 is going to be a good year needs their head examining. I still say it's still early on. I believe we might have, if we can find it, we have the receipt. We might be able to return this year and get a new one. Hello, reality. I've got the receipt. Can I exchange this? It's still within the 4 month, still within the 4 month return policy. Oh god. But yeah, as always, ladies and gentlemen, as we always start with this bullshit, I can pretty much only guarantee, as the rest of you can guarantee what Damo's answers are going to be. Damo, what the fuck you been playing these past couple of weeks?
Let's see. Baldur's Gate, more Baldur's Gate, Honkai Star Rail, Baldur's Gate. Coffee Talk, actually, because, I forgot that it was on the Epic Games Store. Another game that I'm thinking of actually gonna be streaming, A Dusk Falls.
Ooh.
Might be able to get a couple of people in on that one as well. It's up to 4 players. It's definitely a choice type game, which we know is my crack.
We know what your crack is, Damo.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Neil Newborn actually, and another voice actor friend of his, basically, were playing it as like a little sponsored stream not too long ago, and it was released on March 7th, and it looked very, very interesting. It's set in the 90s. And yeah, no, it seems interesting. It's obviously got some heavy themes to it.
Yeah.
So it's Peggy at 16. I did check the rating for it, So I'm thinking maybe if I could get a group together sort of situation, because you can even play it through your phone to make the choices.
Really?
Sort of situation. Yeah, so it's like, like the old YouTube things where you clicked on like a little link for certain things, like the one that Markiplier did at one point years ago. It's a bit like that, just minus the links. So it's pretty neat, honestly. I can't wait to play that eventually. Yeah.
I was gonna say, has there been any other games that you put in there? Maybe Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, no, I've been playing lots of Baldur's Gate. Naturally, a lot of Baldur's Gate.
Oh, but Damo, what about that other title you've been playing? fucking name's on the tip of my tongue.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, that's it. Oh fuck.
Baldur's Gate.
Do you want some? Do you want some food with your Baldur's Gate? It's literally a case of when people say, "Do you want sugar with your tea?" They usually it's a couple of teaspoons in. For you, it's just the whole fucking jar.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty fucking much, man.
But
That Damo needs more games. My guy, I have lots of games. I'm just very, you know.
yeah, it's all the different ways she can float with a stare in.
Yeah, and I'm doing a Dark Urge run. That being said, though, obviously, as you guys know, I've been, you know, having a lot of pain with my TCs, my TC pegs. And I went to the dentist today. I got given antibiotics. And I'll be referred to have it removed at some point.
Yee. So the pain will be coming to an end soon.
Hopefully. I fucking hope so, because I fucking... Oh, I can't deal with it anymore, honestly. It's getting really annoying.
But yeah, you've definitely been... but the thing is, you've not just been playing Baldur's Gate on your own, you've been playing it with other people, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, like 100 blah, blah, words. Damn, I cannot English.
That was not even English. That wasn't even Elvish. Wasn't even Dwarvish.
I've been streaming a campaign with Inventor and Ivy, as well as Bath Anime 19, Steph. You know, one of the people that started it off with us when I've been streaming it with Steph and Beth. It isn't gonna be able to do it, so I asked if I could, you know, ask if somebody could, you know, maybe drop it in and help with it, and they're like, yeah, no, that's fine. So we're gonna have a new guest, it seems, hopefully tomorrow.
Hey. Oh yeah, because
So that's...
when do you usually do it with Inventor and Ivy?
I usually do it on a Wednesday with Inventor and Ivy, and then Tuesday with Beth, Steph, and potential guest.
You'll be able to find that over on Damo's channel, which is where exactly?
That is twitch.tv/It's the Moon.
No SMR in tow.
I'm nowhere near my mic at this point, and it's just the fact I can pull off an ASMR voice without actually having to do ASMR.
Excuse me.
But yeah, enough about me though. What have you been up to?
Well, I've been on Helldivers 2, as some of you may have seen. Doing more Persona 3. I've been also jumping on Baldur's Gate 3.
Solo.
Yes. Hey, I work my best magic sometimes when I'm on my own.
Yeah, that's true.
Just ask my right hand.
Oh
What can I say? I can play the flute rather well. Just ask Emma. She's gonna fucking slap me for that, guarantee.
Yep.
To be fair, I'd slap me. Obviously been on Honkai Star Rail. Not really doing as much in a minute because I'm kind of burnt myself out on gacha games. So I'm just kind of like just doing daily shit.
Yeah.
I did take a look at the new stuff for the new series of Fortnite. Not gonna lie, does actually look pretty good, especially since one of the emotes summons a snake.
Okay.
Which actually does look kind of cool. Obviously, to those of you who have seen, obviously you've been on that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth train. Every chapter where there's an open area, fucking 6 hours of fucking side quests. Yay. I've also been tackling some more Armored Core because, well, I never know when someone's going to want to fight me on there, so... Also been jumping on some more Pokemon and Pokemon Unite because I've had some ideas for some interesting teams. Does that come with at least 30 minutes of Skeletor? I don't know, Inventor. You ask me. You tell me, mate. I'm pretty fucking sure it does, you bastard. Yeah, I've been working on some interesting teams for the Kiwiville League. I was working on legendary teams yesterday.
Oh.
Gosh. Which I won't reveal until I've actually gotten this, well, at least some of the stats hyper-trained as well as movesets down. I have come up with some nasty ones that people are going to get annoyed at me for.
Does not surprise me.
I've also may have discovered a way to make my sizzle on there maybe even more disgusting.
Again, does not surprise me.
Well, his biggest weakness is fire, so I figured change his Terra type to counter it. So he's now Terra type water, and I decided to give him Terra Blast, which fires off whatever the Terra type is, using either special attack or attack, whichever stat is higher.
Okay.
So, any fire types I go up against, or they try and take Sizzle down, boom, Terrestrialize, water type, water Terra Blast, dead.
Fucking hell.
My team wasn't fucking dirty as it is. People should be glad that I'm not that I can't use my championship team in the gym leaders. No one would get past me.
Probably not, no.
Like, you guys should be thank heavens I'm actually limited to dragon types. Which even then I'm actually working on making them nasty, so...
Again, does not surprise me.
I told Lion about it and he's like, you go ahead and make... Your team makes children cry.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I did cause Kiwi's little brother to actually quit. Well, quit challenging me, so... So, you know, what can I say? I'm an asshole. But if you want to be the best, you're gonna have to come up with a way to deal with the best.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And also the other reason why I decided to bring, tackle dealing with fire, is because of fucking Icy bringing her shit. And dealing with that fucking Fluttermane of hers. So I do have a bit of an issue with that Fluttermane, though. If I do the anti-fire terrestrialization, that does leave me open to her grass type, so... But that's where Bullet Punch comes in, steel type, boom, priority.
Yes.
Oh, I also gave it Life Orb. So that boosts the power of moves. Granted, it takes a bit of health, but it doesn't matter. I was thinking about putting Life Orb on my Annihilate, so obviously boost its power, and then obviously I've got Drain Punch on there. So while Life Orb will take a little bit of health, Drain Punch will get me back health. So.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So I'll just be even more disgusting. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm working on being very, very mean. I would have put Roost on my Sizzle, but Roost isn't in the game. Well, not in Scarlet and Violet, so not to my knowledge. If it was, then there'd be the healing done for Sizzle, and I wouldn't have to worry ever again. I'm such a fucker.
Yep.
And people haven't asked me. People haven't tried to ban my team yet. I found out.
That's because no matter what team you get given, you're just gonna wipe the floor with it. Like, bro.
I'm not that good. Although I will say this, I did find out Sizzle has actually escaped the actual competitive ban hammer 3 times.
Oh.
In 3 generations in a row, I think for the last 3 generations, it's been put under investigation for being too powerful in its tier.
Interesting.
And it's managed to escape the ban hammer 3 times.
Fucking hell, man.
So it's been in terms of trying to get it banned, it's 0 for 3. So to those that actually want Sizzle banned, get fucked. But enough of me prattling on. Let's get on to the news.
Yes.
So, obviously, the big news, of pretty much over the weekend, is the unfortunate passing of Akira Toriyama, the creator of, well, his most famous work, Dragon Ball. Now, obviously, I know a lot of people aren't fans of Dragon Ball, but that still doesn't change the fact that he literally created something that no one can argue is just out there. It's completely out there. Now, in the statement that was actually released, it basically just said, obviously, that he has unfortunately passed on March 1st. And the internet basically came out in basically like a horde showing and paying their respects, ranging from streamers to actual game developers and directors themselves. I saw the director of Tekken paying his respects as well. Like, everyone's been showing their respects. Granted, there have been some scumbags that have actually tried to take this and, well, be completely disrespectful, to which they've been ripped the shit out of, like someone in The Walking Dead in front of a horde of zombies.
Fair.
Because regardless of what you think in regards of Dragon Ball Z, because I know, as I said earlier, there are not a lot of people that I know that are a fan of it. I'm a fan of it. Tenchi is. I know Charles is as well. And so we appreciate the guy's work. Like, Charles and I, we've played the games. We've had fun on Xenoverse 2. He and I fighting each other. Because one of the things that I always took as a message from Dragon Ball was you can always find a way to get stronger. No matter what actually is in front of you, you actually can find a way to get stronger and overcome it. Whether it's by yourself or with other people standing beside you. That's what I took from it. Many people have obviously taken some of his work and actually had different interpretations of it, and that's perfectly fine. But I will say this. When I did find out about it, I was in shock, and then when I started to see videos on it from a couple of people that I follow who do a lot of Dragon Ball games, and their content literally revolved around Dragon Ball, I was crying. I'm not gonna lie. And it's hard to actually see, but what they didn't announce on the official statement was what he died of, which was then revealed a little bit later on in the day. The fact that he passed away from an acute subdural hematoma, which is a serious condition where blood collects between the skull and the surface of the brain, which is usually caused by a head injury. So anyone that actually knows me knows that I have some history with hematomas. Says, when I was younger, I was diagnosed with a chronic hematoma, and there was fluid, not blood. So he would have actually suffered in pain and possibly blurred vision as well, and it would have just felt like migraines. So, and unfortunately, it obviously did claim him. It's the age at 68. Like, that's still young. Like, in fairness, like 68. Like, you don't hear of people passing in their 60s. At least I've not heard of many. What about you, Damo?
Not really.
60.
I also know it's not unheard of.
I know it's not unheard of, but it's like it's very rare that you hear of someone in their 60s passing.
Hmm.
And it's like some people have some people have taken this news hard because they look to Dragon Ball as like an idea of what they could do. Some mangakas have actually gained inspiration because of Akira Toriyama's work. So it would not be a stretch to say that his work has actually influenced some people's like even the current generation and possibly future generations' work. So Akira Toriyama, an absolute legend, and may he rest in peace. And that's all I've got to say on that. Damo?
Yes.
What you got for us?
Oh, let's see. Let's kick it off with a funny-ish one.
What we got? Baldur's Gate?
No, actually, Alan Wake 2. I'll get to the
Le gasp!
3 ones later.
Le gasp!
So this is from GamesRadar.com. That was published the 1st of this month. I can't remember if we've already spoken about it or not. I don't remember specifically. But Alan Wake 2 composer, quote unquote, violated one piano with adult toys to create the horror game's nightmarish soundscape.
What? Say that again. Please say that again.
Alan Wake 2 composer violated one piano with adult toys to create the horror game's nightmarish soundscape.
If the soundboard was if I had the soundboard allowed in this VC, I would go, "Hey yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
So how did you create such a masterful piece of music? Oh, I slapped a piano with a dildo.
Well, I shall read out the article so we can get more information.
Please, context, please.
Alan Wake 2 is a wild ride in nearly every sense of the word, and to match the game's oddball energy, composer Petri Alanko used some unconventional toys to bring the nightmarish soundtrack to life. Developer Remedy Entertainment seemingly pulled out all the stops for its long-awaited horror sequel, Alan Wake 2. There are 2 protagonists, a lavish musical number, heavy nods to the studio's 2-decade history, so Alanko had to keep pace with the studio via unusual means. By now, Remedy knows I won't leave a stone unturned in order to find something extraordinary, says Alanko in an insightful interview with NME. I recorded a rusty old cattle fence, burned 2 pianos, violated 1 piano with adult toys, and triggered a fire alarm. Then dropped a piano from a forklift onto a concrete floor. I knew I could hear a plastic piano playing Phallus in the woods. That was in the brackets, by the way, just to clarify for that. Alanko says the last accident happened by mistake, but his unconventional methods didn't harm the game's moody soundscape. What matters is... What matters is, does the music speak to you? Does it move you? Everything else is fucking pointless nagging, he says. A great score is a great score. Defiling countless piano sounds like a pretty easy way to sink development costs, but Alan Wake 2 recently became the studio's fastest selling game ever, so no harm done. Remedy is now working on 2 expansions for Alan Wake 2, and though they won't directly cross over with Control, they will tease what's next in the Remedy connected universe. So yeah, there's that for an article. Very short and sweet.
I get, could you imagine, like, he calling his assistant, like, Phyllis, I need dildos. I need adult toys. What for? I'm gonna violate a piano. What the fuck?
Right.
How? What goes through a person's mind to think of using adult toys to create music?
Why not?
Who thinks of violating a piano with adult toys?
Alan Co, apparently.
Love, what we're gonna do? We're gonna put a gimp mask here over some of the strings and the piano.
Yeah.
For the things that hit the keys, we've got spank paddles.
To be fair though, it is quite creative.
Some of the key
way.
notes, we're gonna have it replaced with butt plugs. How do we keep this whole thing going? Oh, we're gonna have a fucking machine powered by the pedals of the piano. I'd love to see him give fucking lessons on how to do that on fucking OnlyFans. That'd be a fucking video to see. I now plan to play Beethoven the Third's insertion.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, that's actually got the funniest fucking shit I've heard since we started doing this.
Yeah.
And we've covered some fucking weird shit on the Flopcast, but that takes the cake. Violating a piano with adult toys.
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed. I'd love to see how he did it. Maybe further on down the line, if we get the opportunity to, I'll actually like. So, I've just got one question. If you could indulge me, sir. I saw a news article several years ago, covered it on my podcast. You violated a piano with adult toys. Care to give an explanation and maybe a demonstration?
Yeah.
Now that's some Patreon content right there. Come on, that'd be great.
That'd be fucking hilarious, mate. What are you talking about?
Oh, fucking hell. That's thrown me, that's fucking thrown me complete off.
That was the plan.
Fucking hell. Other people throw me off with all sorts of shit, and that's the first time I've ever... I can't even wrap my brain around how that would work.
Probably throwing the toys at the piano. I don't know.
All you'd hear, unless he was hitting the keys, all you'd hear is a thum, tum, tum, ting, 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 ting. Brrr. Well, folks, I don't think we're getting any better than that. Good night.
Wow.
I almost clicked on the ending screen there just for extra shits and giggles.
Just wow.
What do you expect me to say?
I don't know. I'm at a loss for words.
I feel like he's used one of those toys on me. Jesus Christ. Alright, from mind-blowing instrumental violation. That's the best way to describe it. To Xbox's future.
Yes.
Now, obviously, several months ago, there was talks on regards of Xbox's future. And it seems that Microsoft are debating right now, again, whether Xbox consoles have a future. Says Peter Moore. Yes.
Oh, no.
It's coming from IGN itself, and I have verified it through other sources that this is actually true. And the article says, and he should know, he used to run Xbox. So the article goes as this. It feels like the video game console is at a crossroads, with Xbox Series X and S floundering in the, I would say, breaking the article wall here, defunct console war. Sony suggesting PlayStation 5 is approaching the second half of its life after missing sales targets, and uncertainty around the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. There is growing concern that the traditional video games console business could be under threat. No, it's just that we had a fucking epidemic literally around about the times you guys released your shit.
Exactly.
With the prices rising on literally everything and resources being a lot more scarce, so it made making new gen consoles a lot more difficult. That's why the sales are floundering. Plus, also the amount of exclusive games on said consoles is actually well, not as much as it usually would have been at this time for, say, PS4 and Xbox One. Like, fucking hell, the Xbox One actually had more exclusives than the X and S have right now, when it was at this point in its life. And that's saying something.
Yep. Oh yeah, 100%.
Why? There are a number of reasons. Perhaps chief among them is that the console business has failed to grow meaningfully in years, offering a sizable but static customer base that is increasingly playing a handful of enormous games and leaving little room for anything else. After the pandemic boom and huge revenue increases from new types of monetization, like battle passes, some are now wondering where the next shot in the arm comes from. Well, I don't know the fact that a lot of the businesses also kind of went overly greedy. Like, to my knowledge also, PlayStation are still currently in the middle of a lawsuit where they're basically being sued for overcharging on the PlayStation Store. To my knowledge, that's still an ongoing case, but no information has actually come out of that, so they're keeping tight-lipped on that one.
Oh yeah.
Which is a surprise, considering how open Xbox has been for all their failings. Peter Moore is convinced Microsoft will be discussing right now whether Xbox consoles have a future. Why should we care about what Peter Moore thinks? He knows a thing or two about video games consoles. Oh yeah, because he did a great job with Xbox One.
Right.
As president of Sega America, Moore was in the room when Sega killed the Dreamcast and went third party. Oh, so he's got handheld knowledge on how to kill shit. Great. Again, look what he did with Xbox One. Then, as boss of Xbox, he oversaw the 360, contending with everything from the Red Ring of Death debacle to over-the-top E3 presentations. I personally think the 360 actually did very well, all things considered.
Yeah, it became infamously known due to the Red Ring of Death.
Yeah. That literally became a meme.
Yeah.
But despite all that, it did actually pretty well. Yes, Peter Moore is that video games executive who got a Halo 2 tattoo on his arm just to flex Microsoft's muscle during the console war. Bit of an ego then.
Doesn't surprise me.
Then, after Microsoft, another tattoo, this time to promote GTA 4's launch on Xbox. Moore joined EA to run EA Sports and the gargantuan FIFA series. Oh! He's got a great fucking resume going on here for him. FIFA series. A game that no one really gives a shit about. You watch all the FIFA fans come after me. Fucking do it. You literally, at the end of the year, the game becomes defunct. Becomes pointless. Every single FIFA game. Sue me. Fuck off. In short, Moore knows what it takes to run a successful and unsuccessful console business. And so, if he's wondering whether game-playing machines under our TVs have a future, you can bet the people making them are too. In a sweeping interview with IGN, Moore delves deep into the ongoing debate about video game consoles, wonders what Microsoft in particular will do next, and reveals that Microsoft's current internal debates about releasing its exclusives on rival consoles are nothing new. Confirmation on that one, folks. In fact, years ago, Microsoft talked about releasing Halo on PlayStation. Now, if they had released Halo on PlayStation, that would have probably been an immediate game changer.
Oh, yeah.
You met people that would have probably stopped even thinking about getting an Xbox and gone straight to PlayStation if Halo was on PlayStation. That would have been huge. Could you imagine if the last few Halo games were on PlayStation?
Honestly, that'd be pretty neat. Not gonna lie.
Again, as I said, it would have been a game changer, and Xbox would actually start to lose themselves as a result. The only thing that we actually do from that is literally gain a little bit of profit from it being on a different system. Because Xbox wouldn't actually be the sole holder of it anymore. So them holding on to it, literally, is there... like, literally, when you think of Xbox, most people literally think Halo. Because it's literally been their main thing for years.
Yeah, something like that.
From Halo 1, like, the original Xbox was not that good. I had a friend who had an original Xbox. It was kind of dog shit. The Dreamcast was better in my book. And it's like, jeez. It kind of shows, like, if they're actually legit thinking about it, it shows how much trouble that Microsoft might actually be in. Like, to honestly consider, like, releasing exclusivity, to basically getting rid of exclusivity. Granted, that's something that us as gamers have been wanting for years. Like the console war is literally over. It's been over for fucking years. The only ones that are literally talking about it still are Xbox. It's like, guys, you're probably in your 30s and 40s now. You ain't 13 anymore. The console war was a good little thing to talk about on the playground, but that's about it. It's not relevant anymore. Yeah, you might have like a few people say like, "Oh, PlayStation's better than Xbox, Xbox better than PlayStation, Nintendo's better than the pair of you," blah 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 blah. And then you get people that are just like, "Ah, fuck off. We'll just play on whatever you want," like us.
Yeah.
We have multiple systems, PC. Between me and Demo, we pretty much have like pretty much almost every single system, relevant system at least. Demo being more PC. Again, it's still a relevant system in this.
I know, I'm taking the piss, it's all good.
PC Master Race, fuck off.
I didn't say none of that, did I?
I know, but I'm talking about the PC fan base. That literally the PC fanboys are like, "Oh, PC Master Race." Nah. Come out to me when you actually get your head glued out of fucking World of Warcraft, mate. Sorry, how much is that? Anyway. Let's not forget hardware is a messy business. If you extract hardware and look at the PL, profit and loss, on its own, it's brutal. But it's the facilitator to the software and services that drive the industry. You got a generation coming through now, and this is a concern maybe Phil's talking about. That's more likely to be utilising their smartphone for everything, including gaming. That is true, the amount of games are actually allowing handhelds to actually hold a fair bit of power. The Switch being one of them. Granted, the Switch is itself still a console, but it is still also a handheld at the same time, which is still, I personally feel, a brilliant bit of ingenuity. But the thing is, it's like, when it comes to, like, the thing is, smartphone gaming is only as good as whatever phone you're holding. Like, if you... At least with, like, at least with consoles currently, like, if yours is still old, you can still play games. Yeah, it might chug a bit, but you can at least still play them. With smartphones, if you haven't got the most recent, up-to-date shit, you ain't going to be able to do jack.
No.
So, and not gonna lie, I have to say this, in some cases, phones are actually more expensive than consoles.
Yep.
Like, how many phones, like, come out in, you would say, a regular console's life cycle?
Quite a few.
Yeah, and that's just upgrades, and it's basically like, oh, we got this, this, and this. We've upgraded to do this, this, and this. We've now managed to make the graphics this, this, and this. Alright? So, yeah, some people would say that phones are actually cheaper. Not when you're literally getting a new version of it literally every fucking year. That price builds up, people.
Oh, yes.
I'm not, before anyone actually takes this out of context, I'm not smack talking all phone games. There are some phone games that actually do hold up rather well.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Honkai, what being one of them actually, surprisingly.
Honkai...
Genshin, no matter how...
Honkai Third
Star
Impact...
Rail.
Oh no, Honkai... I was going to say Honkai Third Impact's also on there. Actually does really well. Like... There's loads of actual games out there that actually do rather well.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly enough, I hate to say this, but even Fortnite and Call of Duty Mobile actually do somewhat okay.
Do you want to know what I find ironic, though?
Shoot.
The one that doesn't.
What's that?
Is Genshin Impact.
Well...
That does not do well on phones at all.
Well, you also have to think, though, Genshin's actually starting to lose its player base quite badly.
Yeah.
It is... people just aren't happy with it. Let's just say something when even I've actually deleted the game from my console.
Yeah.
Which comes as a bit of a shock for a lot of people.
But you told me you deleted it off your console, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like, I honestly feel that the story's going nowhere. It's like... That was one of the things I actually enjoyed, was like the story. And it's like, it just felt like it wasn't going anywhere. Like, you're just spinning your wheels when every, like, 8 months for, a 2-hour bit for story, which then leaves you more confused.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's why I'll probably pick it up, like, maybe in a year or two's time when there's way more stuff out there and I can actually sink my teeth into a bit more. But at the minute, it's just like... The way I would actually describe Genshin for me right now, I've been promised steak, but what I'm given is...
It's not steak.
No, it's steak, just in the size of... You know one of those like small like dog food biscuits? Like that. That small. That's what it feels like currently. It's like it's steak, but not. It's like you're teasing too much, and when you tease too much, you're gonna piss people off.
Yeah.
So
It's one thing to blue ball people, like blue ball someone, you know, occasionally, but my balls are no longer blue.
Yeah. I've just gone off and busted my nut elsewhere.
Yep.
So, the article's pretty long, but basically, the weight of the consoles is actually being put into question, and Xbox is questioning. Well, Microsoft are questioning Xbox's future, whether it's probably worth to do financially. And not gonna lie, they're gonna have to really kick it up if they want to actually make anything out of this.
I agree.
Considering the amount of money they've also just spent on acquiring Activision Blizzard and the amount of fucking layoffs that are happening across Microsoft company-wide, as well as all their acquisitions, it is concerning.
Oh, yes.
Are they going to end up going the way of Sega?
Honestly, would not put it past it.
Are they literally just going to go back to making PCs and software? I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Microsoft has actually shut down a project because it wasn't actually doing too well. Mixer.
Yep.
And look what happened there. Everyone found out the exact same day through social media.
Yep.
So, yeah, it wouldn't be the first time for them to screw people over like that, so, yeah. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't, as much as I shit on like Xbox and Microsoft, I wouldn't like to actually see the Xbox go. Because it actually does have some memorable stuff, obviously, with Halo, Gears of War, and a few others, like Age of Empires. Like, I would actually like to see it be around. Not for like case of the console wars, but literally as something different. But, hey, that just might be me being hopeful. But I do honestly feel they need to buck up their ideas. What do you think, Damo? Like, I'll ask this question to you. What do you think would happen if they were to actually say that the Xbox Series S and X, the last of the Xbox consoles we'll ever see? How do you think that would impact the gaming community as a whole?
Okay, thank you for phrasing it that way, because you know I would have said something dumb.
What do you mean, like the past nearly hour of me talking?
Yeah, pretty much. How it would affect the gaming community? Genuinely, I feel like it would actually do a lot more damage. Because, you know, like, I know a few people that are very dead set, Xbox this, Xbox that. Like, not even, like, taking it into discussion, obviously, for console war reasons. They're just like, it's what they prefer.
Yeah.
You know, some people I know said it's because the controller's better for them, you know, over the PlayStation controller. Sometimes it's, you know, even the smallest minuscule of detail within the console itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's something they're so used to having. I know that it could potentially damage a lot of that side of the community that use the Xbox for those reasons alone. Same with some games as well.
You think the
but at the same time,
so you'd say, like, would you say that the main damage would be to the exclusive IPs, or do you think they would actually just find more home on PC?
I think they'd personally find more home on PC, genuinely speaking.
So I'm
more like towards, like, you know, those that play more Xbox because, you know, like I said, because it might be the controller, or you know, it runs better for them because it's something that they're so used to. But at the end of the day, to hear that, genuinely, I've got to say, I knew it was going to happen, like, one day or another.
Yeah.
That it being talks about, like, no longer doing the consoles and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, they, I don't want to say wasted so much money, but essentially they did. You know, like, acquiring all these development companies to make all these games, and yet they're now laying off a shit ton of people because they can't afford to maybe make the new, like, you know, the new console that they wanted to bring out.
Yeah, like, didn't, like...
like, stuff like that.
I even heard that a new Star Wars game that was meant to be in the works has actually been cancelled.
Yep.
Like,
I saw that somewhere as well.
Because it's not just over Microsoft as well. Like, everywhere seems to be laying off. It's like...
Exactly.
And it's like, I kind of call it, like, someone else, because my mum spoke to me about it, and I'm just like, I've got one question then. Where the fuck were y'all's financial advisors last year? Because clearly you lot spent way too much money.
Exactly, because, you know, and I will stick to what I said, but it's down to greed.
Yeah. Like,
they wanted to own everything and everyone, like, you know, everyone in terms of, like, development companies, like, just to clarify.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the way I see it is, like, you got greedy, karma's a bitch, I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just the fact of, just to put a bit of a positive spin to it, Larian Studios are actually looking to hire right now, so any developers, any script writers for video games, you know, doesn't matter what sector, even if it's, they have actually stated on their website as well, even if the job you're looking for isn't on there, still apply, and they actually want people that are being, you know, laid off, but obviously they don't mind if it's people that are new to the business and stuff like that either, just to also put that out there, on their official website. You know, with 3 locations specifically. I know one is in the UK, which is about an hour and a half away from me, by car, which I'm very happy with. Because I did not know that at all. I know there's, I think, the 2 others specifically are in Canada, I think, or like near, like one's in Canada and the other in the States somewhere. Sort of thing. So they are actively looking for people. So those that have been laid off, even those that haven't worked in the industry or just looking to look for a new development industry to go into, like company wise, do go ahead onto their website and apply. There is still hope. And I'm sorry for those that are getting laid off, no matter if it's from PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, anywhere in the world, or any development company. You know, do apply. Yeah. There is still hope for you guys out there, honestly.
Now, before obviously we move on to your next topic, Damo, I kind of had a bit of a segue kind of through some of what I was talking about in regards of exclusivity. From the ex-PlayStation boss, I know another ex-boss, Sean Layden says exclusivity is your Achilles heel if game costs exceed $200 million.
Okay.
I mean... so this is what they're basically saying. Again, this is also from IGN. Video game exclusivity is one of the hottest topics within the industry after recent moves by both Microsoft and Sony to release their first-party games on multiple, sometimes rival platforms. This, coupled with rising development costs and increasingly squeezed margins, has caused some to question whether the console exclusive has a future. Speaking in an interview with VentureBeat, former president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment America, Sean Layden, said, when a video game's costs exceed $200 million, exclusivity is your Achilles heel. I would agree with that, because that's then when it costs way too fucking much. So having it on multiple platforms is literally the best thing.
Yeah.
It reduces your addressable market, Layden continued, before citing the success of Arrowhead's Helldivers 2, which launched on PlayStation 5 and PC to explosive success. Particularly when you're in the world of live service gaming or free-to-play. Another platform is just another way of opening the funnel, getting more people in a free-to-play world, as we know, 95% of those people will never spend a nickel. The business is about conversion. You have to improve your odds by cracking the funnel open. Helldivers 2 has shown that for PlayStation coming out on PC at the same time, again, you get that funnel wider, you get more people in. Well, that's just because Helldivers 2 actually fucking tailored to a lot of what people wanted at the moment. And the fact is, Helldivers 2 is actually funny and a good game. That's why that actually works. The fact it's on PlayStation and PC has got nothing to do with it. First-party development costs rise with the release of each generation of consoles, but costs have ballooned in recent years. Which, yeah. According to Kotaku's report on the... because there was obviously a release of data stolen from Sony, developer-owned Insomniac late last year, which we did cover. Also revealed internal concern of the growing cost of the studio's games. According to Kotaku's report on the breach, Spider-Man 2's development costs ran $30 million over the original $270 million budget, and ultimately needed to sell 7.2 million units to break even. Latest sales figures suggest Spider-Man 2 has now veered into profitable territory, although Sony has yet to confirm that itself. Layden said, here we go, single-player games get attacked yet again, no doubt. Layden said, single-player games have a similar audience consideration as multiplayer games, though not exactly the same. For single-player games, it's not the same exigency? E-X-I-G-N-C. But if you're spending $250 million, you want to be able to sell it to as many people as possible, even if it's just 10% more. I mean, to be fair, on that statement alone, when you think about it, if the game costs that much, you want to be able to make as much profit as possible. So, getting it able to actually be played by multiple people on multiple systems makes the most sense. On a business standpoint. And also a gamer standpoint as well. With a consumer standpoint, that makes the most sense. But again, AAA titles aren't doing as well as the likes of Helldivers 2, Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I know some people would say that it's a AAA game, but it's not a AAA game because it's not made by a massive studio. That's the difference. Because, not gonna lie, a lot of people had not even heard of Larian Studios before Baldur's Gate 3. And can you back me up on that one, Damo?
I can 100% back you up on that, because I didn't even know what, was it Original Divinity or whatever it's called?
Divinity Original Sin 2.
That's the one. I didn't know that even existed prior to Baldur's Gate, really, so yeah.
Granted, I was aware of it. In fact, I own it. But at the same time, Larian Studios was not very well known. With Baldur's Gate 3, their knowledge of them has basically skyrocketed. So, again, it's yes, this is a case of literally people throwing too much money at something. Yes, obviously you need money to be able to actually make the games, but at the same time, it doesn't really work if you then got suits upstairs putting pressure on the guys that are actually meant to be making the game. Obviously, sometimes pressure does work depending on the circumstance before anyone actually gets on my case. It does sometimes work. But what doesn't work is when you then throw these people under the bus and throw out their incompleted work and then expect them to take the blunt of it. Cyberpunk being the most obvious example. Granted, Cyberpunk has actually managed to bounce back and is actually doing pretty well. And hell, there's even actual talk of there being multiplayer coming out for Cyberpunk. And I'm not talking about PvP, I'm talking about multiplayer as in multiple people taking part in the story. Which I think could actually work. But that's a different discussion for a different time. You can throw all the money that you want at something, but unless people have the breathing room and the freedom to do, and the passion to do it without fear, then you're gonna end up with some pretty shit stuff. Like, not gonna lie, I didn't hold up much hope for Baldur's Gate 3 because I'd been seeing stuff from it when it was in beta on PC. It really was not working well. But they took that and they learnt. They took the time to actually see what was going on, listen, and have built up and made a completely amazing, game-changing game. As our Sims expert would explain.
Yep.
And has explained several times.
Yep. Yep. What do you need me to explain?
Oh no, I was just basically saying how Baldur's Gate is literally game-changing.
Oh yeah. Like, should we see how many hours I currently have?
And you are like the Sims expert. I honestly didn't think there'd be many games that would actually hold your attention that much.
Mm-hmm. Granted, yeah. I'm just waiting for Steam to boot up. Give me a second, guys.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like, again, throwing money at everything does not always guarantee success.
No, it doesn't. Like, that's the thing. Look at how far, like, EA made it with Sims 1 and Sims 2. How much stuff you had. And it got expanded with Sims 3. And in Sims 4, it's, you know, for example, the Sims 2 expansion pack Bon Voyage, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of Sims 4, you didn't really get that kind of content.
Actually,
not fully, at least, anyway.
I can come up with a better example, Damo.
Mm.
Star Wars Battlefront 2. Amount of money they threw into that, and then wanted people to actually spend God knows how much on loot boxes that didn't even really fucking work, to the point they actually had legal on their ass.
Mm.
Yeah, again, just because you have the money for it doesn't mean that throwing everything at it, that throwing all your money at it, is a good idea. Because that ain't going to produce the same results. Oh, well done, you had the money to actually get managed to actually make a game for a rather famous IP. Congratulations. Is the game dog shit? Yes. Walking Dead Destinies. I was actually looking forward to it. I then actually saw what it actually was like. That apparently they spent most of the fucking budget on just getting the IP. Congratulations. The game's absolutely dog shit. I mean, granted, it's fucking stupid. And I would play it if I was paid to. But at the same time, I would not pay it out of my own money. Like, it's meant to be like, every decision you make will change everything. 4 major decisions throughout the entire fucking game. Do you go combat or stealth orientated? Depends on the fucking mission, but most of the time, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Graphics, absolutely dog shit. Some characters' faces are either stretched out or shrunk. Yeah. Does it have much of an impact on the story? Not really. Not really. The only real impact I've noticed that seemed to have changed, and by the way, this is what I've seen from actual videos and various little bits I've loaded up, is what's available for the skill tree. Because if a character dies, obviously you can't access their skill tree. So, again, be smart about your shit. Money ain't everything.
Nope.
And the name ain't gonna always get you the results either. So, with that being said, Damo,
Yes.
what you got next?
Well, obviously,
Is
I'm
it
just gonna
Baldur's
quickly-
Gate?
Yes, it is. There's two actually. The first one, I'm just gonna basically do a quick skim through, so not sorry. But obviously, I know we've spoken about this on this channel before and stuff like that, in terms of development companies as a whole dealing with a shit ton of threats and toxicity. This was also confirmed by Larian Studios' official Discord in itself. Where they've had to recently address the recent threats by some Baldur's Gate 3 players amid issues with some of the game's mods. So some of the fans are frustrated with the lack of official mod tools and stability issues in post-patch 6. We've had about 3 hot fixes to this point as well, not specifically because of the mods, but because some things obviously if you play it vanilla, which is, if you don't know, without mods,
Hi.
there've been quite a few bugs. And crashing involved. Love it. But yeah, basically, Michael Dowse, director of publishing of Larian Studios, has spoken about abusive threats from Baldur's Gate 3 players amid the ongoing wait for mod tools. Some Baldur's Gate 3 fans have been left frustrated after recent patches, but some have taken their frustrations too far. Just like a lot of games on PC, you can mod the shit out of it. 99% of the time, you can mod the shit out of it, and some of the mods are just chef's kiss.
Staring with
to
guns.
the point.
Kid you not, a legit mod.
I know. But yeah, Michael Dell's Larian Studios had to address the threats from players of Baldur's Gate 3's modding in terms of modding tools in a long thread on Twitter, claiming that threats and toxicity against our devs and community teams will only harm the conversation. He also reiterated that the current focus of Larian Studios is to patch the game whilst working on future mod support. Now, bear in mind, okay, yes, this article did come out 26th of February. Okay, it's quite a while ago, I know. But again, and I know for a fact that Chaos will back me up with me on this one 100%. It does not matter. At the end of the day, I mean, it does matter. You shouldn't actually threaten them. Wrong paraphrasing, I know. Damo, Rod, that one on, intelligence. Nothing new there.
I would have said there was a 10. You're getting your words out there, you're just kind of stumbling a bit.
Yeah, basically. But it's the fact that a lot of people are like, oh, but there's not enough mod support. Actually, Norboy has a script extender, so you can still get the achievements in the game with using mods. So all the mods do work smoothly. There are some mods that you do need, specifically with a lot of the mods, for it all to run smoothly and to show up in the game and stuff like that. Especially the ones that say, take the game to a whole entire new level. Those mods I have not played, so I've only seen what they look like on Nexus.
To summarise, patience, young one. If not, get the fuck out.
Now,
Go touch some grass.
Yeah, I'm not being funny. A few days back from when this article was literally released on GameRant.com, there had literally been, the devs had been teasing a cross-platform plan for mods. Which means that they'll also be coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and X versions, even if there's not a date set in stone yet, okay? They are going to be coming, but be fucking patient. Stop threatening people because you think you're the big I am. At the end of the day, just because it worked for a couple of fucking Sonic the Hedgehog movies doesn't mean it's going to fucking work with developers.
Well, to be fair, the Sonic one kind of did need to change.
It did. It did. Yes, I will agree with you on that.
Alright, we'll say.
Even then, under no circumstances do you threaten people that make these games so we can play them, where they release more content, even if it's through bug fixes or, when you're in, say, you're at camp. And the idle animations and stuff like that.
Basically, if you go ahead and threaten the people of the game that you're actually enjoying, you're a fucking idiot. Because you're literally, essentially biting the hand that feeds you. You're being an absolute fucking idiot. Because they could easily go, nah, fuck off.
Exactly.
And they'd be well within their rights to basically, if the threats continue, they'd be well within their rights to say, no, we're not going to do it anymore because you guys are being rude. They'd be well within their rights to do that. You have no right to... If anyone of this community or any community find out, obviously hear about, like, if anyone of any community threatens or sends death threats, guess what? If it's found out, no, I can almost guarantee that you'll be tossed out quick, because those of us that actually respect hard work and actually are patient enough, yeah, we're excited for it, but we're patient because we know this shit takes time, and we know when you take your time with stuff, it actually works even better.
Yep.
We appreciate it. You start threatening people that we're trying to support, guess what? We're going to turn around like a skater room with two guns, and we're going to shoot the shit out of you and tell you to get the fuck out. So to those that are actually threatening the Larian Studio devs, go outside, get a reality check, and get over yourself. Sorry, Damo, I just felt that was needed to be said.
No, I appreciate that, because you know I don't always word things very well, so I do appreciate you stepping in for me on that front, honestly. Now, on to a bit of a funnier situation for Baldur's Gate 3. Now, this does technically, for Chaos, technically it does include a little bit of spoiler for you.
Alright, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, spoiler alert, I will give you guys 10 seconds to basically do a, well, for a spoiler alert. So if anyone actually doesn't want to get spoiled by it, you will actually have, obviously, the time to actually obviously mute or skip ahead. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you see my character move again, it's all good. 0.
Thank you. Baldur's Gate 3 monk that practices the way of the sticky hand, forced to do the final fight alone after angering most of the RPG's cast by stealing a sword. A Baldur's Gate 3 player who, by their own admission, roleplays a klepto monk that practices the way of the sticky one at hand, found themselves facing the RPG's final gauntlet alone after a spot of petty theft went particularly awry. Even in the article at GamesRadar.com have even stated, warning, the below contains spoilers for the final part of Baldur's Gate 3, so if you're still on your first playthrough, you might want to look away now, or in this case, mute if you haven't done already. The player who goes by Saquon recounted their unfortunate tale over the Baldur's Gate 3 subreddit. Having made a rousing speech to their companions, the players said about making their final preparations before the big end battle. This included a spot trading with a merchant whereby a sword caught their eye. I saw he had a sword on his table, and so I gave it a yoink, thinking I was hidden, he explains. Immediately, all my allies in the room disappear, and just the flaming fist guy is left, who immediately moves to attack me. Doesn't even give me a chance to explain it's a misunderstanding. Having killed the assailant in self-defense, the player continues towards the task, taking out, the big bad at the end. Between them and it are numerous formidable foes, including a great big dragon about to take the fire-breathing beast. The player suddenly realizes they're all alone. They actually abandoned me in the fate of the realms over one little sword, Saquon stirs. After all we've been through. To the player throwing a towel in over a single stolen piece of equipment seems kind of petty, and they're not the only one who has accidentally ruined their playthrough right at the end in this way. Somebody else who also said, happened to me too, I was left speechless, says the Dead Templar. Like, why did you even put that thing on the table if it's not for taking? Even worse, another player says they didn't see the sword in question and clicked it by accident. So, yeah, according to some of the comments, this increased hostility towards stealing came about after the arrival of patch 6, which Larian rolled out last month. One player in the comments says that before the patch was implemented, they did the same thing with no consequences and were simply told that they had to pay for the sword when they tried to steal it. Another says that previously, when attempting to pilfer a potion, a merchant would offer to sell it to them, but following patch 6, all of them aggro the moment I steal it. So let that be a lesson to all of us to think twice before bolstering our inventories using a 5-finger discount, particularly in Baldur's Gate 3 honor mode, where our transgressions can't be undone by a simple reload. So yes, there you go. You can unmute or undeafen or whatever it is that you are doing currently. The
I am now
spoilers are now
use
done.
my character's movement to actually indicate that you're now out of the spoiler zone.
Yes.
Sticky hand, really?
I accidentally said sticky wand and you literally point out sticky hand, which was part of the article.
I know, but really?
And game.
I'm not going to make any statements on it because I've not reached that part yet, so... So, obviously from one light-hearted bit to... I guess you could say another bit of solemn and also why this year kind of sucks. Rooster Teeth is shutting down after 21 years. Now, you probably are wondering, why are we talking about Rooster Teeth? They're not actually a gaming company. Well, actually, a lot of people actually found out and actually enjoyed some of their stuff, and they actually used to make their stuff within video games. So, Red vs. Blue Origins original stuff was actually made, obviously, within Halo. So, I think this kind of falls in perfectly fine. Rooster Teeth is biting the dust after more than 2 decades. 21 years, to be more specific. Parent company Warner Bros. Discovery, after unsuccessful attempts to sell the unprofitable fandom, gaming and comedy entertainment division, is shutting down Rooster Teeth's operations. RT General Manager Jordan Levin announced the shutdown of Austin-based Rooster Teeth at an all-hands meeting Wednesday. In a memo distributed to staff, the closure of Rooster Teeth will result in layoffs of its approximately 150 full-time employees and will throw dozens of contractors and content creators out of work as well. And this is the a part of the statement of the memo. Sorry. It's with a heavy heart that I announce that Rooster Teeth is shutting down due to challenges facing digital media resulting from fundamental shifts in consumer behaviour and monetization across platforms, advertising and patronage. Also doesn't know the fact that they've had to deal with several scandals.
Oh yeah, that's that too.
With various former members actually having been revealed to have actually been engaging in very wrongful acts with some of their fan base. To which I believe that's where they start to really fall apart. Levin wrote in the memo obtained by Variety, "Our legacy is not just a collection of content, but a history of pixels burnt into our screens, minds and hearts." Warner Bros. Discovery is currently in talks to sell the rights to certain Rooster Teeth catalog content and intellectual property, such as the popular anime-style series RWBY, pioneering sci-fi spoof Red vs. Blue, and Michael B. Jordan's animated mecha series Genlock, which some people would actually say is a failure, that one. In addition, WBD is seeking to sell Roost product network with shows spanning games, true crime, fandom, comedy and food, for which the time being will continue to operate. Warner Bros. Discovery thanks Rooster Teeth's groundbreaking creators and partners and the strong management team for their many years of success. Media company said in a statement, "Your passionate and loyal fans are a testament to your achievements." Rooster Teeth celebrated its 20th birthday last year with the launch of new logos and tagline, "Just Playing." The company had cultivated an ardent fan base and become an internet video destination years before the advent of YouTube. First viral video came from the 2003 debut of Red vs. Blue, an animated comedy series from that popularized machinima. The company's name was derived from dialogue in the original trailer for Red vs. Blue, in which the voiceover narrator is dissed by the subtitler as a cockbite. Rooster Teeth was founded in 2003 by Bernie Burns, Matt Holman, Jeff Ramsey, Jason Saldana, Gus Cerolo, and Joel Heyman. Under multiple ownership changes, it became part of Warner Brothers Discovery 2 years ago in 2019. Then owner Warner Media tapped Levin, former CEO of Warner Brothers, as general manager of Rooster Teeth, as part of the reorg in which Holman, previous RT CEO, Burns and Ramsey took on new creative roles at the company. Burns exited Rooster Teeth in 2020. Yeah. So, unfortunately, Rooster Teeth is shutting its doors. I kind of had a feeling that was going to be the case when last year Achievement Hunter announced they would no longer be in operation. And considering that was one of their biggest things, after obviously Red vs. Blue and then Ruby, that they were probably on their way out. There have been several people online on various social medias, various animators that actually worked on Ruby, that actually wanted to find out who they could speak to in order to actually acquire the rights to work on Ruby, or at least own it. Because they wanted to continue working on Ruby because they worked on the original series of it. Now, whether that'll actually be the case, because several people have also said if these individuals acquire it, they will join in on it. Whether that'll actually happen, I do not know. The fate of the likes of Ruby and Red vs. Blue and all their other stuff is currently now up in air. What'll happen to them, I do not know. I will say to those who are actually losing their jobs, I feel for you. And I hope you're able to actually find peace or some form of success wherever you end up. You guys did work. You guys did good work for many years. Granted, I stopped watching you a few years ago due to scandals, which I will not go into because I believe that said individuals do not deserve any more limelight. But you guys did the best you could, and that's all really anyone can expect. Do I hope that Ruby is able to actually continue in the true aspect? I would like to think so. At least I would hope so, because people have been clamouring for Season 10 for quite some time now. So, yeah. That's really basically it. I've not got anything else, Damo. Have you?
Well, I mean, I did say I'd keep the people updated in terms of Silent Hill 2 remakes. I've got that.
If you got something, then shoot.
Yeah, comicbook.com. Silent Hill 2 remake release teased with a new update. Article was released on March 8th of this year, obviously. The release date for Konami's remake of Silent Hill 2 could be drawn incredibly close following a new development with the game. For the time being, Konami has refused to give Silent Hill 2 even a broad launch window. While the survival horror title was shown off in a video from PlayStation at the start of the year that claimed it would be releasing in 2024, Konami itself is still remaining quiet about the Bloober team developed project. Fortunately, it looks like this silence could soon be coming to an end if a new update is any indication. Spotted by Gematsu, Silent Hill 2 recently received a rating in Korea. This move is notable because ratings are usually only assigned to video games when they're in the final phases of development. As a result, this suggests that the release of Silent Hill 2 could be closer than anticipated, and it could at some point be in the next coming months. If nothing else, though, this rating indicates that Silent Hill 2 is certainly on track to drop before 2024 wraps up. Even if Silent Hill 2 is pretty close to its eventual release date, the jury's still out on if the game will live up to fan expectations. The most recent trailer for Silent Hill 2 that was shown off was tied to combat, and based on the reaction from Silent Hill fans, that the remake didn't look too hot. In fact, Bloober Team itself ended up releasing a statement in the wake of the backlash and said it has confidence that the final product will live up to the hopes and dreams that many love. So for the time being, Silent Hill 2 has no official release date of any sort, but it is known to be in the works for PS5 and PC. At launch, Silent Hill 2 will be a timed exclusive on PS5 for an undisclosed period of time. So once this exclusivity window comes to a close, it will then feasibly be able to release on Xbox as well, although Konami has announced no such plans to do so just yet. But what they are saying is true. Because a lot, they won't genuinely put a rating out there at all if it wasn't very close to, the finished product. So I can't wait to see that, honestly.
Really, you can't wait to see that. Well, considering like they were said about possible this year release.
Yeah, it is this year release.
Yet we've basically heard next to nothing for some time. Do you think it might be a case of they'll just like there'll be a case of like we'll just hear from it and be like, oh, this is coming out in a few months.
Probably. They've done it like, a lot of companies have done that with games like as of this year and late last year, so it would not surprise me at all.
Well, as stated before, folks, Damo will keep us updated on that particular game. And no doubt we can expect an in-depth review of the game when Damo gets their hands on it.
Oh, yes.
And I do mean in-depth review. Because no doubt Damo will probably be streaming it.
More than likely.
And with that, that's the last article we have, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, we are done for this episode of the Flopcast. Next episode will be on the 25th of March. So look forward to us then. Obviously, this episode of the Flopcast will also go up tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Wednesday. For some reason, I'm getting my days mixed up here. Chaos rolled.
Happens to the best of us.
Chaos rolled a 5 when it came to checking out the calendar. So it'll be out on Wednesday over on YouTube, and obviously it will be part of the playlist as well. And Damo, as always, thank you for joining me.
And thank you for having me, as always.
No worries. To everyone watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you all in the next one. To everyone on Twitch, we are going to raid out. I've already chosen a who we're going to raid.
Mm-hmm.
I think Damo knows who I'm going to raid, so... Let's just say things go boing, 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 boing. But yeah, with that being said, folks, we will catch you all in the next one. And as always, raise your pizzas high and say it with me. Stay chaotic and live for the challenge.
Live for the challenge. Ooh.
Bye-bye.